Why is sidereal astrology more accurate? Well, we just had a video on comparing the two, tropical and sidereal, and in this playlist, we are going to keep looking at these questions. I'm Janan Derso to share viewpoints in astrology. I share light to make contrast, not judgment, right? On a system that has shaped daily chatter of prognostication. The enchantment of astrology bears no holy witness to the truth. The truth is always true means that it isn't sometimes true. Science and astronomy help to back up the astronomical positions of celestial objects. What do I mean by this? Well, if you're going to make a statement about the sun being in Leo, for example, how do you know this to be true? I'm not proposing everybody has to be an astronomer, but there's a certain level of knowledge required to share celestial placements. Otherwise, it appears to be gossip, right? So let's look at it. There's perception versus knowledge in astrology. The sidereal wheel is based on the astronomical calculations of any given moment. Astronomical. Okay, they are scientific. You can look up in the sky and use tools to see where they are. The tropical wheel is based on perception, not science, because it doesn't look like that any longer. So you can choose whether you want to live in perceptual calculations or scientific ones that lead to knowledge. As my science based wisdom of the biodynamic calendar solidified, I continued asking more questions. I have presented the science of the biodynamic almanac, which you can understand by looking at the constellations in the cosmos. So here is my discrepancy. How can I work on a farm all day, harvesting roots? It's a biodynamic farm, so where the moon must be in an earth sign, in this case, say it's in Virgo. Then go online and read people saying the moon was in Libra. Are we looking at two different moons? No, we are looking at two different wheels. One is science based, one is based on the perception of the seasons. Perception is not knowledge nor science. And I'm all about faith, which is believing in something you can't see, but not seeing the moon in the constellation of Virgo when it is and saying it's in Libra is deception and perception. So let me explain. I have a two-phase process for discerning wisdom that's both scientific and faith-based. My faith-based wisdom asks a blunt question. Unless you're asking for insight from God's word, tell me how you know it's true or false. But if you aren't concerned with the word, then add science. Show me the astronomical view. Anyone can make relevance out of a statement like, Mercury's in retrograde in Pisces, so that's why I'm late. But how does that statement hold water in the glass and move beyond perception? Scientifically or astronomically, I follow up with, do you know where Mercury is in the sky? Like, is it actually in Pisces? Spiritually, we could then inquire, how does it potentially affect you? Is these just excuses for being late? Are you playing the role of the victim? Is this a karmic perspective on being late? Astrological gossip is harmful when it aligns with the user's intent to keep people separate from love. That's why I bring this up. And that's why I go to the source. Once you place us in the astronomical view of today, with our present sky, illusions can evaporate like clouds. We can still go to God with all our questions for divine answers. Your spiritual practice is personal, so this is your part. I use astronomical insights for present moment instructions from the divine source. Radical honesty is part of the qualities of releasing grievances. So, personally, I had to offer my grievances with Western astrology to the altar. You may have to too. And I am so open to having a cordial conversation about this. Because biodynamics is where science meets spirituality on Earth. Rooted in the biodynamic almanac, which is a sidereal wheel, an astronomical method, I offer non-predictive calendars of what's available with star patterns. I share a vision of the sky that's inquiry-led by encouraging you to ask your life questions at the altar of your mind and listen to the voice of God to bring you the true answers, not astrology. This is how you unlock peace, and this is how you come into alignment with your holy purpose. It's with prayer. So if you're curious, you can join the star map. We build on astronomical calculations of the constellations and how the Earth moves through them at the start of every Earth year. If you're curious to follow the Earth's patterns through the sidereal zodiac, this program is for you. Activate your cosmic contribution. We begin October 21st when the Earth moves into the head of the whale, Cetus, and the feet of the Ram of Aries. You can email me, find me, support@janan.com. I am very accessible and I want to keep answering your questions. This week it is on the Sidereal Astrology connection. Peace.